Hi there.
Hello, it's me, Reed.
I'm Jennifer. Welcome to a Faith at Home listening practice.
Yes, we're reading Psalm 56 today, and we're going to be reading it. We'll take turns. I'll read it second. You can read it first.
Oh,
You can read it first, and we're looking to hear. We're listening for God's voice, and God speaks through these. So we're listening for something that sticks out. You might want to have a book, pen or pencil, or maybe your phone. I don't know what you use to keep notes, maybe, so you can figure out what you've heard and remember it for later. These things tend to drop out of my mind, so it's helpful to have a record so you can look back on it.
so as we listen today to this psalm, you can pay attention in this first read through for something that stands out to you. It can be an idea, a picture in your mind, a word or phrase from the psalm, anything that the divine family brings to your attention. Be gracious to me, O God, for people trample on me. All day long foes oppress me. My enemies trample on me all day long, for many fight against me. O Most High, when I'm afraid, I put my trust in you. In God, whose word I praise, in God I trust. I am not afraid. What can flesh do to me? All day long they seek to injure my cause. All their thoughts are against me for evil. They stir up strife, they lurk, they watch my steps. As they had hoped to have my life, so repay them for their crime. In wrath cast down the peoples, O God. You have kept count of my tossings, put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your record? Then my enemies will retreat in the day when I call. This I know, that God is for me. In God, whose word I praise, in the Lord, whose word I praise, in God I trust. I am not afraid. What can a mere mortal do to me? My vows to you I must perform, O God. I will render thank offerings to you, for you have delivered my soul from death and my feet from falling, so that I may walk before God in the light of life. What do you notice as you listen to that today?
I noted that twice it talks about what can flesh or what can mortals do to me. This idea of being more than just physical, that God, who is not physical, is with me, and that difference, and that I'm not just a physical being, that I have internal life, I have a soul, if you will, spiritual existence, and that just stuck out to me. I guess I haven't noticed that before, that connection to God being spirit, and I have spirit, can make that connection with God. That stuck out to me. I know there's a lot of complaints in there, but
that was the piece that stood out to you.
Stuck out to me. That just that I'm more than just my flesh, and just the physical world. Just the physical world, it isn't everything. It's important, but it isn't everything.
So, it's not everything. No. The piece that stands out to me today is that image of God putting my tears in a bottle, so that all my tears, and sometimes I have many of them, and sometimes they come because I'm so happy, and sometimes because I'm sad, and sometimes because I have no idea why. They just come. But every one of those tears is gift from God, and sort of like waters the soil of my life, and God treasures them. The divine family collects them up, as it were, and places them in a bottle. Now, I know that's not real, but that's the image that's there. And it seems like quite beautiful and tender and caring to me as I listen to that today.
Yeah, very good.
What do you notice as you listen along?
I'm going to read it again. Surprise. I'm going to read it again. And this time we're listening for an invitation. That's the word we use, invitation. Something that God's calling you to. However you want to define that, I guess. But it's more specific than just sort of an idea. It's, God's calling, speaking, telling you something direct to you. So as I read it, you let God speak. Be gracious to me, O God, for people trample on me. All day long foes oppress me. My enemies trample on me all day long, for many fight against me. O Most High, when I am afraid, I put my trust in you. In God, whose word I praise. In God I trust. I am not afraid. What can flesh do to me? All day long they seek to injure my cause. At their thoughts are against me for evil. They stir up strife. They lurk. They watch my steps. As they hope to have my life, so repay them for their crime. In wrath cast down the peoples, O God. You have kept count of my tossings, put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your record? Then my enemies will retreat in the day when I call. This I know, that God is for me. In God, whose word I praise, in the Lord, whose word I praise. In God I trust. I am not afraid. What can a mere mortal do to me? My vows to you I must perform, O God. I'll render thank offerings to you, for you have delivered my soul from death and my feet from falling, so I may walk before God in the light of life.
The invitation that jumps out to me is from that verse that says, when I am afraid, I will trust in you. When I am afraid, I will trust in you. Maybe you have read the news today or had a conversation with someone who stirred up something inside you. Maybe you, like me, have had moments today where you have felt afraid. For me, those are the words that jump out to me. That's the invitation. Jennifer, when you feel afraid, trust in me. It's the feelings will be there. They're not going many places. They're sticking around probably. But the fact is that God, the divine family, is trustworthy, and I am invited to trust in them today.
Right.
What do you hear?
The invitation is this idea of thankfulness. The person writing this psalm is in great travail, troubled by what's going on around them. But then they promise vows that they will render thank offerings to God. They will thank God for what God will do, that God will deliver them. That the not flesh, the not these people or troubles, whatever, the God will deliver my soul from death, it says, and I can count on that. So I should be thankful. That was what the invitation was, to be thankful to God for God's good, what God will do, even if I don't feel it right now, I guess. That look to God for help and hope.
I wonder what you notice as you listen along today. Maybe there is an invitation for you as well. We trust, we live in faith and do this practice on a regular basis because we believe that God does speak to us and that God also will speak to you. Thanks for being with us today.
And we'll see you again.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.